Sådan her. Nå, det er fordi den... Sådan, så er vi ved at være klar. Hvis der er nogen, der er allerede kommet ind, så er vi ved at være der om et øjeblik. Jeg skal lige have et par kollegaer med, inden jeg starter, men engelsk. Sorry, I have to do it in English. I forgot about that. But now it's in English. Thank you so much for reminding me, Mohammed. But we will go live in a couple of minutes. I just need a couple of my colleagues to join in also, since this is live. So if you want, you still have 2 minutes to go and pick yourself a cup of coffee. And while you do that, I'm going to... Hi there, Isabella. It's great to see you. Now I also have my headphones on. We are going to be a couple of my colleagues in this session also, but welcome everyone who's joining us. It's great to have you here. We are looking forward to take you through a game session today. And as last time, we do have a few things that we want to share with you before. Hi, Tor, there you come. Great
Hello.
to see you. Hello, everyone.
Thank you.
I'll just present myself, and then we will dig into today's presentation and game session. And Tor and Isabella have joined me because I'm going to ask them to play against me, or play against each other, as you guys are also going to play. So we're going to share the link. You're going to play, and they can be playing on screen, so you can kind of get a sense of how to facilitate a game also. Let's start by introducing ourselves. My name is Leif Sørensen. I'm the CEO of Acti. I'm also the founder, and that means that I have a deep knowledge on the tools, which I think we all have. My colleagues have been here for years, so they know more than me about areas of the company. But not to go into that. But this particular game I know of because I've been partially designing this with Martin Hansen, who was a former employee at Acti, a technical person, because we had a person coming into the company who was suffering from autism, or not suffering, but had autism. And all of that journey was actually part of the game. We built the game on top of that, and the person is still with us today, and we enjoy being a diverse company. But that story is the game that we are playing today. But that's me. I'm a happy sailor, but I'm also a working hard person. I love Acti. It's what I do. It's what I think of every day, every weekend, to the extent where my kids and my family have accepted it. So today it's a very integrated part of me. Learning is a very integrated part of me. That's me. Just shortly, let's present Isabella and Acti. Isabella, would you like to go first? Then I will share my screen while you present yourself.
Yes, thank you, Live. My name is Isabella, and I have been with Active for about 6 years, and I'm in charge of our global sales and also a partner. So supporting all of our strategy and business in general. And I'm also a happy sailor, sailing with Life on his boat during the spring and the summer. Yes, we're winning. We're winning almost. So yeah, that's me. Um,
Thank you,
happy to be here.
Thank you, Isabella. Tor.
Yes, very short. Happy Sailor, I guess, head of Nordics. I've been here for 2 months, so when you said we've been here for years, we have combined. So I'm very happy to be on board for this live event as well. Thank you for having me live.
Thank you. Okay, great, everyone. We need to have, last time we introduced something that we are really proud about. So please enjoy this for a second before we move on. We have been thinking that these game events does not have to be so dull and quiet. So we kind of are trying to make ourselves better. We have then introduced, now we have introduced jingles. We are trying to make it more and more engaging as we move on. Please remember that it's only it's a new thing for us. So yeah, there's another thing we need to know is that if you have a question in the chat, you're welcome to answer it. There are people responding to it if you are asking anything, but it comes a little bit late to us here in the studio. So if we are not responding immediately to it or on screen, it's because there is a little delay. But let's see. So I've introduced my three colleagues. Let me then move on to today's program. Basically, we're going to have a look at what Acti is. Some of you might know, some of you don't. So it's going to be a couple of minutes introducing who Acti is. And the second thing is we need to go into the story behind the game. So what's the story? And that's an introduction to the theory that we have in. Then we're going to play. That means that you are going to play as participants and we are going to play against each other here. So we don't get the silence on screen, but then you can shift between your game and looking at us playing against each other. Then we have a Q&A if there is any questions, and then thank you. And Q&A is also looking into facilitation of the game. What tools do we provide? How can you find data and so on? That's about it. If you have any questions, feel free to add it into the chat or ask us any questions as we go on. But that's it. Let's move on about Acti. I'm going to do this fairly fast. I'm going to talk for a couple of minutes, and then we are going to move into the game. But basically, we've been here for 20 years. We have been focusing on translating. We have been focusing on making it possible to develop a lot of games on the platform, and that has now moved into 150 open games, but we have 400 games being built per year, done by our clients. That means that they're not published to everyone, but they are published to a certain client's participants. We have also, since we started, been focusing on all of our games is not just for fun. They are tied down to a specific theory or multiple theories, and they are very open. That means that every time you play a game with us, you actually get a profile that are building on those theories that you have inside the game. And that has been important to us because we don't want to just have fun. We actually want to fun and teach people or learn, make sure that people are actually leaving with an outcome every time. Then we have people, we don't do any activities as actee, as consultants. We don't go out there. You cannot purchase us to come out and facilitate anything. What we do is basically the software and the game platform. We have 2,500 certified consultants with whom you can contact. You can also contact us, but you can contact them and then they can guide you, or you can be certified yourself and you can facilitate yourself internally. We don't do, and that's what distinguishes us from most of other game developers in the world. And the picture on the screen there is something that we are super proud about. It's where people are playing from. This is the last month. So we have people from all over the world coming in and playing games and being
Super
very
cool.
clever. Yeah, that's cool, right? We are super proud about that. And if you go to LinkedIn, if you search for Acti, you can see a lot of our partners, the 2,500. We would not be here without them at all. Just to let you know that we are so aware of that. But we are also aware of not being able to live without these people, which is our clients. On the right side, you see some of the clients that are using Acti, and on the left side, you see some of the clients that are using our tools as a consultant firm. That means that they bring Acti games into their portfolio of processes, they design them in, and they play them in different ways. So what you see today is just one way of playing. They use the games in different play modes, in different ways of playing, with different themes in all kinds of situations. But I'll just briefly touch on the most common things that we cover are on this screen. I'm not going to go through each one of them because you're going to be very tired if I don't move on in the program soon. So let me just touch on what is important here. We see most activities on leadership development in larger processes. That means that people are spending a lot of time learning something, and we become an element within that large period of time. That means that if you have a leadership academy or you have somebody coming into a course, you might want to shift some of your PowerPoints with the game, and then you play instead of having somebody explaining what leadership means. It's very often in change management, which is one of our key themes. That is our most used games, has been the same game for 10 years, and it's change management. And then you can see everything else on the list here. Sales training, ESG is becoming a topic. We have also been focusing on diversity and inclusion, and we would like to support anything that goes into doing the world or creating the world to become a better place. And that's why we are engaged in projects that are centralized around human things that makes the world better. So join us if you want, and if you have any projects, contact us. That's it about Acti. I hope that's enough. If you want to know more, let us know. We will be happy to take you into a meeting, of course. This is the game that we're going to play. So let me just put a few words on the game that we're going to go into. The games that we're going to play today is about a person who's coming into a workplace, and it goes all the way back to the beginning of the journey of being a person with neurodiversity, starting into a job. And this person started at Acti as an intern, has been here for 7 years. So it goes all the way to the first meeting. How were we thinking about it? How was he thinking about it? And how was the people supporting him thinking about it? And that's basically the game story. You go through 9 different scenarios as you play the game. But it's built on something that we have experienced. So, and then it ties down to a way that we consider it to be important when you have a neurodiverse person coming into a company.
And Leif, can I ask,
Sure.
what type of conversations could it start? Like, yeah.
That's a good question. That's a really good question. Let me just go to the conversations that it could be targeting. One of them is if you wanted to have awareness training, like training about what should we be aware of if we have a neurodivergent person coming into the workplace. And that ties into, if you want to change something, you have to take that step first and think about, okay, so what do we need to be aware of? And if we are aware of it, what can we actually change as a company? Because we had that experience, and I think everybody who ties into neurodivergent persons at the workplace needs to have that considerations. One example could be that we actually did at Acti, everybody has a task that is outside of your regular tasks. We join each other for creating food. We create food to each other. We do different stuff, and this person is not capable of being creating lunch together with the rest of us because it's too chaotic. So that person is now in charge of making sure that the dishwasher has salt in it and the plants are watered. So everybody has like a responsibility for something that is about our well-being at Acti, and that's one of the customizations that we had to do at Acti, and that's what it should also point to. Be aware of that. Yeah, I guess the rest of the policies there are fairly open, and I hope you have read them by now, because I'm now shifting to the next one. The target group is of course human resource professionals. That means that everybody working in HR in charge of training, corporate managers who has this issue on the agenda. It can be educational institutions. It can be trainers and consultants who has diversity as part of your portfolio, and you can also combine this game with other diversity and inclusion games we have off sale, and so on. I guess it's pretty obvious. Tor and Isabella, have I forgotten anything here?
No.
No, I don't think so. Last week, just to mention that we were presenting a kitchen. I guess it can happen there as well, right?
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. It could be in the kitchen. We had a game session last week with where you had to be in a kitchen. You're super right. All right, let's move on. Tor, I think, by the way, your mic is on your PC and not on your headset. You probably have to check that. I just want to touch on this model that we have added in. We have added in a model that, or we have described a model at Acti when we went through this game called the special ability model. What we basically did is that we added in some of your options, or some of the things that you can focus on is of course Alex. In this case, it's a person called Alex, and Alex is the neurodivergent person that we have focus on. The other one is the company. In this case, it's Acti. So you can choose to focus your way of going through this game with a focus on Alex, or at the company, in this case Acti. Or you can focus on the system behind. That means that there might be somebody who wants Alex to become something or training something, and some of the options can also target that specific system behind him. And there's always this dilemma between, are we now making an option that is supporting Alex of its own, or can we combine? So it's kind of figuring out what is good for the company that makes it easier or makes it possible to have a neurodivergent person at the workplace, and at the same time making space for Alex, and maybe covering some of the issues that the system might impose to you as a workplace if you want to have a neurodivergent person in. That's the model. So in the end of the game, you will get a profile on this, and we're going to also show that as we play along. Now it's time to play the game. So this is the time where it becomes fun, and we are 15 minutes in, and I think, don't we deserve a we have to thank Mohammed for making that great little jingle to us. Thank you, Mohammed. It's great. We love that. Okay, let's play the game. Let me show you something in the game. Basically, you have 3 elements that will progress as you play the game. So every time you make an option, it's going to impact Alex, it's going to impact the system, or it's going to impact Acti as the company here. And every time you are capable of moving Alex 1 point, you're going to get 1 point. If you move the system, you're going to get 1 point. If you move Acti, you're going to get 1 point. So every time you positively are moving each one of these 3 areas, you're going to get 1 point. And of course, one of you might be thinking, do we also extract points? Yes, we do. So if you might mono focusing on Acti, you might see that Alex's focus is going down or the system is going down, but you really are great at doing hundreds. You are not balancing the free area. So please keep in mind that you can balance the free areas as you play. Then in the game, you also have three people that are part of the game. You have the employee, which is in this case Alex. You have the system behind Alex, and then you have the employee, which is Acti. You can click on them, and then you can read a little bit about the storyline behind them, but they do not impact directly on the points. That's only your options as you make them. And they look like this. So every chapter is going to have three options within it. And the chapter, the options that you take, if you take one, you're going to get a textly feedback from each of the option that you make. But there is, regardless of what option you take, it's going to be giving you a feedback that comes directly from Alex. That means that when we built this game, we actually built in that each of the options that you take have a comment from the person who's neurodivergent. So that means that you get a direct feedback from someone we had at the company here when you are playing the game. That's how it is. Let's continue into the live session. We are now going to add into the chat the link to the game. I think Mohammed is going to add that in, right, Mohammed? Will you do that so everybody can click on it? And then you simply play. And if you are in doubt what happens, you can always just look at the screen, because we are going to play along with you here at Acti. So you can just follow us if you have any doubts as you progress in the game. So 1 second, and the link will be added to the chat. Mohammed, are you adding the link? And we will just play. The three of us will just play as you move on. And I'm going to take the link here, and then I'm going to show you what happens when you click on it. As we move on, let me just close this one and let me open a new one. Whoops. There we go. So when you click on the link, it's going to look like this. Then you just have to enter a name. And in this case, I'm going to call myself L. I add it in. I have to choose my position. And I'm a leader of a business unit. And then I go into the game here. Then I get in here, and there are two things you can choose from. You can choose the game, a Neuro-Divergent colleague, or you can choose to see the video. Please just go to the game, and once you click on the game, you will get to this part where the game starts. Then you can start playing. And this is how all the games are. So I already gave you that description, but up here you can review your choice. You can see the game history. You can go to the team insights, and the team insights in this case is the people, the three people that are inside the game, the system, Alex, and Acti that you can see a description of. Then here you can see the bubbles. There are only 3 in this game, as you can see here, and there are no result text. And here you can see the score as you progress in the game. And I can now see the first option that I have to take into consideration is here, and I can see Isabella and Thor is already in the game. And please wait with making your choices, Isabella and Thor, because we have to discuss as you make them. So the first one here is the job interview with Alex, who's a neurodivergent person within this storyline. So our first job is to, what would we suggest when a person with who's neurodivergent to have his first interview with a company like ours? And we can do 3 things here. We can respect it. We respect Alex as a colleague. We arrange the interview following the normal active procedure, including 4 people, and create a case to send to Alex prior to the meeting. That's how we normally hire people at Acti. So that's one of the things we can do. The second one is we want Alex to feel safe, so we prepare a little bit different process for him, we can also do the last thing, which is we need the prep work to be easy, and then go with that one. So Alex and Thor, what did you choose?
I was actually a little bit in doubt between the number 2 and number 3, because we do want Alex to feel safe, but at the same time we are also a little bit in doubt of how he would react also meeting two other colleagues. So I actually went with choice number 3. Yeah.
So what did you
and
go with?
I didn't choose yet because you told me to hold on.
Yeah.
So,
What?
but I think normally I'll just respect Alex as a colleague, but I think I'm gonna go with number 1 actually. I think I will go with number 1. So I will arrange the interview following the normal Act 2 procedure, including 4 people. Yeah.
All right. So which one did you go with, Troy? I didn't hear because somebody's trying to call me and I can't shut off my phone, unfortunately. So what did you
Okay.
go with?
I will try to go with the headline number 1. We respect Alex as a colleague.
All right, then you went with 1 and 3. I'm going to take number 2 then, so we don't get to see what happens. So I took this one, and we even have Tamara in also, who's also playing ahead. So this is mine. What does yours say?
Mine also said 42.
Okay, so we actually received the same points here. I got 42. Isabella got 42. Thor, you got 14. And what was the result text on yours?
It said I was unlucky. No, it was about to include Alex as a normal colleague, to respect him as a normal colleague. So I got a text where it said that Alex thinks that he's grateful enough, like be one of their own, but I'm unsure if my behavior would be considered normal and if the colleagues would like me. So maybe I shouldn't just have respected him. I should have done something else.
So we created uncertainty with making third choice, or the first choice. Actually, we make it a little bit uncertainty with Alex. Is that it?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
isn't it because you also have 4 colleagues in the meeting room?
Yeah. Yeah.
I
So
would guess.
having that regular hiring process where you have 42 people or 4 people in the room is probably creating certain uncertainty with Alex. That's the key issue here. But did his comment seem realistic to you?
I think it does. I actually
Yeah.
think it does. Do we mute and unmute me at the same time live?
No. It's because we don't. It's because your mic is still on your PC, but leave it like that. Isabella, did you find Alex's comment realistic?
Yeah, I think so. So I took choice number 3, right? And he said, I feel that I understand my role and the boundaries that I set, that are set. I just hope that I can live up to the standards that the job has. I think so, yes. But what was a little bit that I didn't understand why we got the same score, you and I, Live, that you took choice number 2 and I took choice number 3, because I thought choice number 3 was the right. I was like, okay, now I'm ahead. I'm gonna win this now. I can see why we need to do the paperwork. It needs to be easy and straightforward.
I
Yeah.
think it's basically because I also thought a little bit both about Acti and the system behind him. So that was the advantage of the choice I made, is that I actually took both into consideration. So it's not always just about thinking about Alex. It's also sometimes thinking about the other elements that are for a person with that are neurodivergent, and especially in this case, there is of course a huge difference between how you are neurodivergent. But in this case, there was a system behind Alex, so that was
And maybe,
also important.
yeah, because I was not really thinking that much about the system or anything laying behind. I was just thinking, how can we make him feel comfortable in the situation? Nothing else really. So
Yeah.
yeah, maybe that's the reason.
Let's see when we move on to the next chapter. and see what happens. So this is the first day as an intern that we now move into in our game. I know the rest of you are probably moved on, and you're welcome to just move on and then follow us once you're done. And we're going to play to 35-40, and then we are going to dig into the host view. But this is the first day when Alex is entering the job. This is the actual first day he is here and working. And it says, Acti wants to prepare his first day as they always do with a new colleague and want to greet Alex as in a normal way. This includes sending the regular invitation to his first day, including the onboarding booklet and a schedule for how the first week will go. Shortly after the invitation is sent, someone from Alex's school is calling Acti to inform them about the fact that they will be staying with Alex the first day and suggest downscaling the days and hours to 2 hours 2 times per week. How do you react to that? So in this case, you have to think, okay, how would you react if the presented schedule is changed and it's changed accordingly to what Alex thinks. And the options we can choose from is you demand to stay with the original onboarding plan, you adjust the plan as suggested by the system, or you ask for a meeting. And then, of course, you have a deeper knowledge here if you open them up. I'll just give you a second to think about how you would do it.
Is my mic okay again, or?
I think it is.
All right. I think I would go with number 3 live, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, number 3. Yeah, you ask for a meeting. Yeah,
Can
go
we
with that one.
Can we decide ourselves live, or then discuss?
Sure. You
Okay.
you play yourself and then discuss. Oh, okay. You are basically saying live. Shut up for a second. Give me a moment. I'll try and do that. It's very difficult for me.
I made my decision now. In a
So
rush. No.
So have you made your decision?
Yeah, I guess. No, I did.
Okay, great. Isabella, what will you go with?
I also went with choice number 3 because my first and instant thought was I need more information on why this is and how in order for the company to react, but also in order for me to understand how the system will impact the decisions on Alex. And so a joint meeting I thought was the best approach here.
Okay, I will go with number 2. Have you made your choices? Please implement, and I will implement mine.
Yes.
I got 28. What did you get?
Also 28.
Yeah, nice. We're following. Let's see what's your comments on what is the comments that you give from Alex here.
I feel more relaxed and less concerned if they actually understand my situation, and I can actually feel like I'm in safe hands.
Yeah. And here Alex is saying work seems far more digestible and more easy to focus on, though I am worried if the added hours can actually be handled, but I will give it a try. So what I created is actually uncertainty with Alex, and you created not uncertainty with Alex. I guess that's the two difference between the choices you created and the ones that I did. But let's see what we got of points. Let's see the results. Yeah, I again got a little bit on Acti and a little bit on Alex, but
actually mine are reversed. So I have 56 on the system and 42 on Alex.
So you actually lost some points.
What do you mean live?
If they're reversed, that means that there was some extracted.
Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, nice one. Let's rush into the next chapter. You only have 5 more minutes to go. I want clarity. Alex has been at Active for 2 years now, so now we are out of the internship thing, and now he's frustrated about the degree of uncertainty in his role. That means that he's now transiting from being an intern to becoming a regular employee at Active. The school just kept extending the internship, and the municipality is not helping either. Alex is getting more and more frustrated with the situation to the point where he's considering leaving the internship. Alex has not been communicating about his frustration and work, but at some point it becomes obvious that to Alex's colleagues that something is wrong. How would you handle that? It literally became a situation where Alex is not an outspoken person, but at some point he actually was outspoken and was feeling really sad about this. And there was reactions that we don't normally see with colleagues that we actually need to handle. So the question was, how would you handle that situation? And now I will give you a couple of minutes to make your option, but there are 3 different ways to tackle this. There is the task is on Alex. That means that we leave it all up to him. Your mail, you send a mail to the school, which is the second one. And the third one is you ask for a direct contact at the municipality. So what do you think?
Again, I'll go with number 3. I think it's a bit too much for Alex to put the task on him, of course. So it could be nice to send a mail to school, but I think I will ask for a direct contact at the municipality.
Yeah.
Because the question also said, how can you do the best for Alex and Acti? I think it's number 3.
Isabella, where are you?
I was in doubt. But I also took number 3. But I was actually a little bit in doubt so once you have Alex coming to you in that matter, wanting more clarity, if that also means that the person wants to take an action themselves or want help or someone to take action for them. But I went with choice number 3 with some concern and doubt.
And if I don't recall it, I think we went with number 2, but let's see. I'm going to with 1. If you take 2 and 3, let's see what happens. I go with number 1.
Okay. What?
Yeah. I actually think that's what we did, and we did it out of a rationale that we are a workplace. I remember that we actually, Martin and I discussed this quite a lot. How should we handle this situation? And what we kind of decided was that we are not a institution, we are not a place he's placed at. We are a workplace, so we have to respect Alex as a colleague, and respecting a colleague also means that making it up to him and not cross the personal boundaries that he might have for us contacting the system or someone behind him. And that was the reason for why we went with number 1.
But that was also what I was thinking about. That's why I was in doubt actually. But I was like, okay, maybe he's not in that state of mind yet to actually make that decision. Which is why I chose choice number 3, because we are still a company. If he wants to be part of the job market, he also needs to maybe make those decisions on his own, instead of you and Martin actually coming in and doing something for him. Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm not sure I'm not sure that we actually did the right thing according to the system, but I know we did according to Alex. But yeah, that was a huge discussion at that point. So yeah, interesting. I'm glad you like that one. Let's move on to the next one. From intern to employment. In the progress of transitioning from internship to real job, the system needs to know how Alex would be able to maintain a job. In this process of getting clarification of his capabilities on the job market, there are a meeting with Alex and ACT to come to an agreement that not only secures Alex in the current position at ACT, but also is a realistic and safe if Alex at some point wants to change his job. The question is how you would help Alex in such a clarification process. So this situation is as it describes, and our focus were actually a little bit special, but let me get to that once you have made your decision. So we have, again, 3 options. Alex is ready to work as a normal colleague, changing workplaces, and you want Alex to stay on the conditions as they are. So there are 3 different ways here to go about it. So take a second.
I don't want to go first because I've been terrible the other times.
That's the reason why you should go first.
All right, then I would go with number 2.
You go changing workplaces to ensure Alex get the best conditions. You think of a long-term perspective and suggest Alex to change job to a new company. This would provide a better view on what is best for Alex. Not a bad choice actually. It's I think it's very respectful. Testing. Remember that Alex was a young person coming out of school, going into an internship. So it's not a bad choice at all. Isabella, where are you?
Can I just say something else? I think it's tough because you also have the system to take care of, and also ACT in this game. So I don't think it's a great choice when you have to consider ACT, but I'll still go with number 2.
Good.
I took choice number 1, and I did that on the basis of the last choice, thinking about what strategy you chose and as the company. I was thinking, okay, he wants more inclusion, and the comment that was in the previous choice to me when I took the wrong choice was don't perceive me as a child, but include me as an actual equal. So that was my thought behind the number 1.
All right, take your choices there, and then I will let you know. What we actually did was number 3. And we did that out of the reason of thinking, okay, because we thought it was actually too hard to go with number 2. So we actually went with number 3. That means that we had a mindset saying we need to put minimum pressure on Alex, regardless of whether he wants to change job in the future. So we need to support Alex towards the system here and take the position of thinking we should just have a minimum hours, minimum requirements, minimum. We're not an institution. We just want Alex to be well thriving at a workplace, but we also want him to be capable of having real jobs and be accounted for. And to make sure that happens, we needed to have the lowest amount of hours, because it's fairly easy to go the other way. It's actually very difficult to have too high standards that we couldn't support, or he couldn't be supported by, and then scale it down. So our approach was number 3.
Okay, interesting.
But I got no points for it.
I got 28 for mine.
Nice.
But I guess number 3 would be good too.
Yeah, but I guess it didn't really, because we actually took the lowest standard. It doesn't really support any one of them. And the reason is, of course, you don't push Alex to become better. We didn't consider that our job. We did not go with the system approach, or we did not do what we could pressure Alex for, and then get more out of as a workplace. So we didn't take into consideration, but we were more thinking about the future of Alex
Long term.
in a sense. Yeah, long term, what will happen to him if he actually wants to get rid of ACT and try himself out at a new workplace. So that was basically the idea. So this is now it. I think we should. We're now at 40. We've been playing for 15 minutes. Let's stop the choices. But I just want to show something as we speak here. You can still see my screen. I'm just going through and making some random choices because I want you to see something in the end of the game. So I'm just making the first choice in any of it. Let me see, we're now at chapter 6 out of 9. You can follow the chapters here on the left side. Let me show you here when we get the result here, you can see it says 7 out of 9. So you can monitor how far you have progressed within the games. But I want to go to the end of the game to show you the statistics that we get as a player once you're done with the game, that I'm shortly mentioned in my introduction. Thank you for playing the game. Now we get to this point, and here let's. So this is where I go when you are finalizing a game in any session. You get to this point, and now I can see who. This is me against everybody else, and I come in 6th place in this case. That means that I rank 50% if I compare myself against everybody who played this game. But if I then compare myself against everybody who has ever played this game, I'm down on 37%. That means that I have 63% to improve if I want to do better in this game. And the things that I've been working on within this game is leadership development, onboarding, working culture, and so on. There's a list of competences that we've been working on within this game. And here is simply just a storyline, and we can go and play the game again. We can also go and see the game history, or we can go back to the session to see the video that we added in, or we can go to see play any other game if the session had more than one game inside. But the most important part is actually this one. This is the theories in the game. So first we get to this section where we can see the scoreboard, but down here we can actually see a personal profile. So this is how I have been focusing my options. I've been focusing primarily on Alex and ACT and a very little on the system behind Alex in my game. And here I can focus on, I can then read a little bit about what is this model or theory all about. And then I can go down here and I can see how my choices are distributed on the model. And I can then open it up and I can get a little bit of description about what does it mean to be focusing on Alex? What's the positive outcomes of it? What's the negative outcomes on it? And then I can measure myself against everybody else who played this game in the session here. I will then be able to see that I've been more focusing on Alex than average of who has been playing this game. Do you have any questions here? Great. Let me move on to what I think we should also look at, which is this part. I want to go into my system now. I want to show you what I can do as a facilitator, because now we move into the facilitation part of our session. So let's go in and see. So if I'm using this game within a session with a group of people, I would then be able to go in. I would also do it as you play, but now we're doing it now. I'm now logged into my own environment. And on my environment, I can see my usage. I can see the sessions I've done. And here I can see an event called Dream Event. And then the date, I can see we've been 7 people playing. And then I can click on the host view here. And if I go to the host view, I now get to the area where I, as a facilitator, can do things with my session. I can customize it. I can see the ranking. How have people been ranking the game? What type of game mode have we been playing in? And so on. But I can also click on the host view to see the real data. And here we can see all of the people who's been playing the game here collectively. And they each have a color that can be changed here. So, and the color is connected to the color over here. So green event 04.03, this one is green. So I can see that this person has been to 70% focusing on the system, 100% has 100% on Acti and has 100% on here. That means that this person is only 30% for having maximum points totally. But that's focusing on everybody. I can also unselect all, and then I can select back here to see it in the same way as we do in the games. this is a facilitation view that we can look at, but we can also choose to go back and see how did we do in chapter 2, the option we made in chapter 2, and then I can click over here and see that in chapter 2, this person here took choice number 3, and we can see the results. And this tool is, of course, built for if you wanted to facilitate a process and discuss with people, how have you played the game? What are the different elements that you have met? What obstacles have you met? What was your concerns, reflections when you're supposed to make the game? This is one part of it. The other part of the host view is the profile section here, where we again go with, this is now me, but I can also choose to measure myself against everybody who ever played this game to see how I distinguish in terms of profile according to everybody who played this game. So this means that this tool here can be used for learning and development statistics, allowing people who's using the games to actually come back and say, shouldn't we support life in knowing what would be great for the system? Or shouldn't we support life in other learning goals that might be relevant for a person who needs to know to balance anything? And please remember that this game is about a neurodivergent person who's very specifically into that topic. It could also be a game on leadership. It could be a game on change management. It could be a game on, and then you would have change theories here or leadership theories, and you can customize that into any of your own wishes or any of your own models that you would like to add in. Isabella and Thor, have I missed anything here? Is there anything I need to empathize?
Not. I think your final comments in regards to adding in the host view and the data as part of facilitation is a very good maybe last final comment, because this is where this view become very important to bring in the good discussions and dialogues between different team members with the client that you might have if you are a consultant, or in the team that you are working in if you are an end client. So yeah, I think you got it all, Live.
Nice.
And I think I came in a 5th place. Would you normally, as a facilitator, then boo me out of the room?
No, Thor, I will give you this. Nice. Okay, I think what we didn't touch on is actually other things you could have here. Now, this game doesn't have a resource to it, but I just want to make sure that everybody knows that if you go into some of the games, you will then be able to find resources that are also supposed to touch or support facilitation of games. So most of the games have more facilitation support than just the host view. You can have a facilitation guide is how are games moving, what are the theories within the game, what are the questions like this. Here you can see the questions that are good to ask, the questions I asked in our facilitation. They are tied down to a facilitation guide that you can use. You can also see the theories behind. This is a change game. Here we have resistant levels, we have the cycle of change, and so on. So facilitation is, of course, our key area at Acti, because that's where we mainly work. But let me then just wrap this session up. I think we are almost done, and unfortunately we have too much delay to have the Q&A, so we will skip that. But I just want to make sure that you all know that if you want to join us at some point in other activities that we do, you can on LinkedIn you can find we have an event almost every week that you can just join in live, similar to this one. So you can click in, join the game, jump off again. You can go to the homepage, and we of course advise you to come to the homepage and click and see if book a demo. We would like to demonstrate what it is that we do. So if you do training, if you are a consultant, if you're considering replacing some of your PowerPoints with a game, click on it. Let's show you how you can do that and what we can offer. And we also have podcasts where we have some of our key clients, both on the consultant side, but also on Also on the end client side, who is sharing their knowledge on the use of games. What's the value? What are they getting out of it? So lastly, book a meeting with us. I guess that's it. Let's Isabella and Thor, do you have any final remarks?
No, that was it.
That's it.
Follow with us next time, where it's about driving change and steering the word
sustainability. Yeah, next event is on driving change and sustainability. That's important.
Yes. See you there.
See you there.
I'm from